after weeks of matches that had occurred, what started from a tournament for fun that was created by the members of this group, we are now into match number 62, potentially the final match for Holomania. As hello everybody, welcome to the grand finals week of BSM Holomania. Here we are with the final match that we will be showing to you guys. This is a match between the number 1 and number 2 seed that is going to be Hologangsters taking on Usada Pakora. This is the match that everybody has been eager to see since the start of this tournament, but after some unfortunate tournament circumstances, these teams could meet up until this moment right here. Refereeing this match will be Zist. Streaming this match will be Rise with Mash. I am Porcus Great. Joining by with me is the one and the only Dynascape. How are you doing, Dyna?
As always, Pork, very good to be here and to have you commentating with me. And
Yeah.
you are correct. We've got a match on our hands, huh? Grand finals.
Yep. This is definitely an exciting time. Obviously, these two teams have performed very spectacularly throughout the whole tournament. But, you know, for me, this is my first time actually seeing Hologangsters performing for the first time, as well as also not to also mention that I'm seeing A Sharp and Grip Warrior play in front of my own eyes for the first time. So I'm really excited to see how these two guys perform for Holomania.
Definitely. And you mentioned Grip Warrior and A Sharp. Just an interesting little statistic that we had searched up before this match began. Out of the top 3 seeded teams in this tournament, all 9 players are playing for the MWC. So we have Grip Warrior, obviously team captain of the USA, A Sharp, member of the Team USA, Els, team captain of the Philippines, and we have Jixu, Team Momentum, and Ray, all for Germany, United Kingdom, and Indonesia, respectively, all members of those teams. Crazy things to think about, you know, like a mini MWC. I mean, we've said it time and time again. These players are absolutely insane, and we really do mean it. These are the cream of the crop. Like, you cannot get better than this.
Yep, that is right. These players are very well established tournament players. I mean, when you look at like their resumes, I mean, Jigsaw and Take Momentum, I've said this time and time again, they're both members of the winning team in Toho Media Cup, which was Black Stick Rod, alongside with a fellow Filipino in Silicosis, as well as, you know, Siluska Els, a tournament player who has performed very well in some tournaments like Tournament 4.5 and Mania Collegiate League, most notably with that taking 3rd place for De La Salle University. Grip Warrior being the runner-up for the United States MWC team last year, so that's always, you know, I mean, especially an accomplishment like that in the most prestigious tournament in media tournaments. That's something that not a lot of people can say for sure.
Oh, definitely. We're gonna go ahead and get in some warm-ups. A couple of players need to warm up in the lobby, it seems. But I mean, Pork, honestly, just weeks of hard work, blood, sweat, and tears, all finally boiling down to this, right?
That is right. That is right. Now, as we get into warm-ups, I don't know whose warm-up this is, but aside from that, I won't get into like the summaries of how these two teams got here. Now, it's no surprise that Hologangsters got the number 1 seed, and they start off from the round of 32, defeating Ganya from Hololive by the score of 4-1. Then they won against Baku 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 by a sweep of 4-0. Then, interestingly, when it came to quarterfinals, they won by default against Hollow Gaming, but then showed up to defeat Ina Connoisseur 5-1 before winning by default against Taco Bell. Now, for the Usada Pakora team, they enter as the number 2 seed, won against High Honey, the 31 seed, and then won against Sakura Changos, and then won by default versus Hololive Engineers, which, due to time inconveniences that happened for Hololive Engineers. But then in the winners semifinals, lost against Taco Bell by the score of 5-2, so they got moved down to the losers finals, where they had to take on Coco Fart and won by a score of 6-2 before sweeping against Ina Connoisseur 6-0. And then in the losers grand finals, even though it's not how they wanted it to go, they won by default versus Taco Bell, which is, I mean, it sucks because first Taco Bell because it that would have been a really interesting match, but all we can really do is just like keep up with like interpreting like what would have happened if Taco Bell actually showed up or was healthy enough against Usada Pakora. But we do know that one reason that one reason that Taco Bell did decide to call out of their losers grand finals is that Chiwi got tested positive for COVID. So definitely a huge impact for Taco Bell, and but my best wishes goes out to Chiwi. Hopefully he can recover from COVID.
Yeah, really unfortunate for Taco Bell. I know a lot of teams, especially when this tournament first started, looked up to them to be kind of this unstoppable force.
Yeah.
But, unfortunately, again, as you said, Chiwi succumbing to COVID, unfortunately tested positive, as well as Boji and Forkan. Also, I believe taking time to focus on, I think, school as well as MWC. So again, get well soon to Chiwi, and we hope to see those 3 in the next tournament.
Yep. Well, we are already almost done with this warm-up. This is Hologangsters warm-up, which is an LM map. As we see here, this is an 8-star map, which I don't know how players are able to hit these nodes. I'm more impressed with how Grip Warrior is playing right now.
Yeah, I mean, Grip Warrior has shown to be very proficient in LNs. I believe the last match we saw on the side of Hologangsters, Grip Warrior faced off against Ina Connoisseur, in which basically he was matching up with Els, who is known to be a very, very strong LN player as well. So, I mean, again, very, very scary when you're facing Hologangsters because I think they're extremely well-rounded. But on the other hand, on the side of Usada Pakora, we do have Jigsaw and Ting for Rice, and I believe the SV pick. Ray and Ting have been playing the LNs for their 2 final matches that happened so far. So again, I mean, it's up in the air at this point. You see, with Twitch predictions, if you are watching along live, the the predictions are pretty much split up. So kind of interesting. We do have Usada Pakora's warm-up coming out. Seems to be another LN map, so that's gonna be interesting as well.
Yeah, this is Slaughter, which I could have sworn this was featured. This song itself was featured in Violent Mania tournament, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, this wasn't Violent Mania tournament as the grand finals map
Yeah.
as for Ellen Bohr. Yeah, and this was the map that our very own Sun Apple was able to defeat Einar to win the tournament, which is, interesting. A fun
Yeah.
little fact for everyone.
It all comes full circle, huh?
Yep. It's so interesting to see when players are choosing warm-ups from maps from like other tournaments. I did definitely remember Solo Esca's Else team, De La Salle University at MCL. Arcat chose the warm-up to be a map from the ongoing Philippines Nationals Media Tournament at the time, which was featured in the group stage.
That is interesting. It's a nice and short one too. I'm glad to see both teams picking some actual warm-ups.
Yep. Yeah, this is getting pretty interesting, and this is definitely going to be an interesting battle in terms of LNs and hybrids, and Rice as well.
Yeah, basically
think
the
that-
whole thing. I totally agree with you.
Yeah, I just think like with their qualifiers and how they perform, I think this is gonna go one way or another. But I do think this slight advantage might actually go to Usada Pakora. I mean, simply because just for this grand finals week, they're using the exact same map pool from finals week, so I feel like they do have an advantage on their hands because they do play these maps in a competitive setting. Something that Hologangsters unfortunately did have the opportunity to do against Taco Bell.
Yeah, we don't have any scores on the side of Hologangsters, so they're kind of just a big question mark at the moment. However, Hologangsters do have 2 matches from the side of Usada Pakora to work with in terms of finding out what they need to do to get these crucial points. Just looking at it on paper, it feels like Hologangsters is an LN leaning team, especially with Emily and Grip doing so well in the semifinals map pool, and Usada Pakora definitely love their Rice. If Hologangsters have done their homework, you will know that they do like choosing Rice 6 and Rice 4, as well as having SV1 in the back pocket. So that's something to think about.
That's it. So it's going to be Jigsaw for Usada Pakora taking the win. Again, so Jigsaw will get the option of how the protect spans will be determined, but regardless of that, they will get the first pick of this match.
Yep, and I mean, that's pretty big, especially when you are looking for that bracket reset. Definitely very nice to have as a first pick, because that means you have a little bit more leeway. Definitely could get your first foot in the door into this whole set, and you will see a protect with SV1. So really happy about that, because as we said during the Grand Final showcase, really wanted to see this, and especially in the Grand Final setting, this is gonna be really cool.
Yeah, and also, Usada Pakora going with a map that they've been undefeated in so far, and they're looking to use that to their advantage in their arsenal against Hologangsters.
Yeah, and I believe Ting and Jixu, we're gonna play that map. They played it both times in their previous two matches. Grip Warrior, honestly, I feel like for Hologangsters, something like LN2 would be a pretty good protect to start off with. Anything that's super dense and tricky, especially since, in my opinion, Usada Pakora isn't as strong on LNs against Hologangsters. I mean, when you look at it on paper, right? But you never know what's
And
gonna
they're
happen.
going with LN4, Ghost.
Yep. And that's kind of definitely also a good one too. Just has a mix of everything. It definitely tests a lot of the LN skill sets in place. Band's gonna come
And
out.
A Sharp. Yep, race 1 is going to be banned for Hologangsters, and now it's Usada Pakora's turn.
And definitely looking for an LN ban on the side of Usada Pakora. Yeah. Oh wow, but they're gonna go ahead and ban SB2 instead. Something that they don't want to play with. Not sure, again, Hologangsters a big question mark. Not sure how practiced they are on that map, so don't want to take any chances with that. So.
Yeah, so they're gonna go with the SV1 protect, but they won't go with the SV2 ban, however, so that's just an interesting strategy that Usada Pakora is going to go with. And they're gonna go with Stellar, which is going to be Rice 3.
Yep, and Rice 3 also something that they've picked before, so those scores are available for Hologangsters and they know around what to look for in terms of scoring and what to expect. Stellar, the Rice 3 pick being more of a bursty tech, however, the good thing about it is that it is the longest Rice, and in those break sections that you do have, and there's quite a few, I believe 3 or 4, you do get a large chance to build up combo, especially if you break during the main meat of the map.
Yep, so this is Stellar. This is map made by Ice Cake. This map is 3 minutes 41 seconds long with an OD of 8, BPM of 174. Usada Pakora did play this match and scored 1.943 million points in that match. It's a really good score, and they definitely beat their opponents by, which was at the time Coco Fart by almost 100,000 points.
Yeah, and that was a sizable win as well. I mean, when you have Ting and Jixu on the same team, especially on a Rice picks, that is just really scary. And we are going to see Grip Warrior and A Sharp on this to start off with. No surprise there. That's who I'd expect when you're playing these Rice picks. So it's going to be quite the battle as we start off here.
Yeah, but what's interesting is that Usada Pakora went off with the lineup of Team Momentum versus Ray, and as we start already, A Sharp and Grip Warrior already fighting breaks. To be fair, they're playing this like really early in the morning, however, and it is definitely not showing. It is definitely not showing, and definitely an unfortunate circumstance for Hologangsters, especially since most of their players here are from West Coast of United States, which is also where I'm from. So waking up at around 8 in the morning is a bit of an inconvenience as they're still trying to get awake. But right now, we are almost near the first quarter of the map, and so far it is Jixu holding with that FC right now, but that accuracy is not really that great, however.
Yeah, definitely some low accuracy, but that's what you would expect, especially on a bursty tech map such as this. A sharp, interestingly enough, top act in the lobby. Even with that break, Grit Warrior does find another reset again. Bomb score in the lobby, holding on to a very high 98.
Yeah, this is not looking really good for Hologangsters, especially for Grip Warrior. It's something I have seen so many times, or twice already, and now this is the third time I'm seeing here. And with how Usada Pakora has played right now, they're just making every team look like amateurs. I mean, if you did watch their matches against Coco Fart, Ina Connoisseur, and now Hollow Gangsters right now, even though this is like the closest that an opponent has come up against Usama Pakora, they're just on another level.
Yeah, Ting finding another break. That blue bar is gonna dwindle a bit, but again, only about a third left in the map. As we get into another slow section, Grip Warrior and Ting will be able to get back up to the combo cap. Jigsaw still on that FC, very impressive by him. And A Sharp, again, still top act. Makes you wonder if all of these players were to FC, how close it would be, as we do see Grip Warrior take yet another break.
Yup, not what we are expecting from Grip Warrior. And then, especially since Grip Warrior is just breaking on like the easier parts of the map, which is not what I was expecting.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I think he did say that he was not warmed up like at all. He did get those 2 warm-up maps, but maybe that's not enough for him. Bit of a slow start here. But, I mean, as this map wraps up, all gangsters are gonna look to think about what to pick next. Does seem like Usada Pakora is gonna take a point as A Sharp does break another nail in the coffin as we see Jigsaw and Team Momentum take quite the sizable lead.
Yep, and we should be done with that map. Definitely a much better score for the first time they played this map, but unfortunately, they will not. Neither Jigsaw will not beat Ray's best score of 987k, but Team Momentum will definitely improve his score by 20,000 points, which was a huge difference maker as to how they were able to take this match.
Yeah, and I just want to point out on the side of Hollow Gangsters, look at that MA by them as well as those great counts. I mean, you do see that they did miss repeatedly throughout the map, both of them. However, they do beat their competitors when it does come down to just raw accuracy. So, I mean, something to look forward to in terms of rice picks for them, because I mean, as they find their footing and Hollow Gangster starts up that engine, you might see some more competitive picks as they do go for LN1.
Yep, so this is where we are going to see the lineup change for Hollow Gangsters, as we will see Celestica else coming in for Hollow Gangsters, but I am pretty much concerned with how this match is gonna go because I mean, this is a map that you saw Pakora did lost against Coco Fart, but or I could be wrong. They probably did win against their opponent. No, they did lose against Coco Fart, but they did win this map, I believe, against Ina Connoisseur. So definitely interesting, something to note about when it comes to this map.
Yeah, definitely. In that match against Ina Connoisseur, they had around 986, 98, 988, and I believe a double FC on the for both of them, rating momentum. So
Yeah,
very consistent players.
1.974 million points is really good. And this is going to be something like it's going to be very tough for both teams to replicate.
Oh yeah, especially when um, this map is super release oriented. There's a lot of awkward releases and staggered ones at that. So I mean, you're right, Fork. It is super scary in any LN map. Really, really hard not to break. However, there is quite a chunk of the map to make up any deficits that were picked up.
Yeah, here we go with the first big part of this map. As of this time, it is an accuracy battle between all four players right now. We see Ray taking on Siliska Else. Team Momentum taking on Grip Warrior. Ray will find a break, however.
Wow, and Ray finding that break. However, Els holding onto that FC is very closely matching that accuracy. Group Warrior top accuracy in the lobby, beating other player on the bottom side of the screen, Team Momentum. It's gonna be a 99.86 to 99.74 as we get into this slower section here.
Yep, and definitely there's still a lot of time for Usada Pakora to catch up, especially since there's like over 3,000 more nuts to go. Especially since like the full combo to get a full combo, you need to get a combo of 5,229. So not definitely halfway there for sure. But else will find a break, however.
And that break is huge. With the accuracies as close as they are, we're gonna see that bar as Els tries to reach 400. It's gonna dwindle a little bit, getting very, very close to the side of Usada Pakora. Ray finally beating Els in terms of accuracy, and with that break, that's definitely gonna help. Grip Warrior standing strong against Team Momentum. FC's on the side of both of them.
Yep. And now we are just, well, now already past the halfway point. We are already at the last third of the map. And definitely accuracy is a battle, but I think the huge slightly difference maker has to be with Grip Warrior's favor as he's just 0.6 ahead. Oh, but break!
And there goes that first curse, I guess. First curse of the match, huh, for Grip Warrior is gonna find a couple of breaks there, dropping down to 99.7, slightly under Ting, and that bar finally turns blue. We do see the first lead in the map for Usada Pakora as the map winds down. We only have about 1,000 notes to go. Ting is gonna trade it right back, and that bar swings right back to red as Ting tries to find 400 combo.
And as we near the end, we do see some 200s being dropped from and Siliska Else. They're gonna have to hold on. This final part is no easy slouch either.
Yeah, no more mistakes left for Hologangsters to give as the map winds down. And as we see those final notes, look how close it is for less than 500. Oh my goodness.
400, my goodness. And look at this. Else was the only player who never actually missed. It was just those slider breaks during that second big part. But fortunately, it was just enough for Hologangsters to take their own point to begin things off 1-1 right now.
Wow, and the difference maker here being Grip Warrior's top score in the lobby with a 987. I mean, you see how close it was with Els and Ray, both taking breaks early on, and Ting tried his best to match up with Grip Warrior, especially after Grip Warrior broke a couple times on the LN. I think it was a chain miss of 3. But wow, that point was so close for just a razor thin margin.
Yeah. Yeah, so, and there's a score difference with Ray beating Siliska Else by 600 points, but Grip Warrior had a 1,000 point advantage against Team Momentum, which was a huge difference maker. And especially when it comes to like these 1v1 scenarios against 2 players. That was just a big difference maker. Siliska Else definitely did her best to definitely keep up with Ray.
Yeah, and Usada Pakora gonna choose Goodbye Sengen. Definitely one of their favorite picks, I believe, in both of their previous matches. It
Yeah.
was their first pick, so we are gonna see it as their second pick in this one. However, super consistent on those. I know Ting does have a 993 FC on that. Not sure for Ray, in their match against who was it? Oh yeah, in their match against Coco Fart. Not sure what kind of scores we had there. Don't have them pulled up right now. However, yeah.
What was it? Only no, in in both of their matches against Kokopar and Ina Connoisseur, they had an average score of 1.972,500, 1,972,500 points average. That's like if you count both of their scores. In their match against Kokofar, they had their best score of almost 1.974 million. But in their second match against Ina Kasur, they scored only 1,000 points worse. But despite that, they're still looking to be a strong team.
Oh, definitely. And double FC out of any team is gonna be huge because this map does kind of push the limits of speed. They are quite ergonomic in terms of how these rolls go. However, it can be very daunting, especially in the later portions when it gets super dense and a bit awkward on the patterns as well. Grip Warrior, wow, with a 99.92, and we do see that bar wiggling just a little bit on both sides. However, it's gonna stay and stabilize on the red side as we get into the first third of the map.
Yeah, that's also interesting. One thing to point out, it's really those bursts that really ended the points for Kokofar and Ida Connoisseur. But in this situation, this is a situation I have not seen so far throughout this this map in particular. Very odd to see Usada Pakora being behind in this situation.
Yeah, and you said at the top of the broadcast, Usada Pakora is such a good Rice-focused team. However, when you are facing Grip Warrior and A Sharp, I mean, they did not get first in the Rice pick for a reason in qualifiers. They're just so good when it comes to Rice accuracy and as well just high-level Rice. Both of them insane scores in the qualifiers. So I mean, it's been showing time and time again in their matches as well.
One thing I would like to mention, Ray with the personal best had broken his combo around the 1,900 mark, but definitely holding it up right now with the best score right now.
Yeah, and look at that bar. It's so close. A Sharp losing just a bit to Ray. Grip Warrior winning just a bit against Ting Momentum. It's going to be really down to the wire here as we get into this last section. Any breaks will do it, even a 200.
And that's it. Oh my goodness, Hologangsters and Usada Pakora. Oh my gosh, 990s all around the lobby right here.
And 4 greats on the side of everyone except for
Wait,
Grip
a
Warrior.
V1 double S? What?
Yeah. Grip Warrior is now online. I mean, we saw it in the first Rice pick. Grip Warrior, just a little, a little sleepy, hands not warm enough, but the engine is like fully powered up and going now. Grip Warrior is totally awake.
Yeah, that was a really impressive score, and we see Else back in the lobby, so they're gonna go with an LN map for sure, but the question is, which LN map are they gonna go with?
Yeah, and it is their break point, so they are looking to double up and make it 3-1. That's gonna be super huge from them. They are gonna pick LN2, Hated by Life. That's really nice because they still have LN4 in their pocket as well.
Yep. Just imagine the advantage they could have if they win this map as well. Would be a huge game changer.
and Hated by Life, the inverse and density pick. This is the longest LN uh, map in the pool at 4 minutes and 2 seconds, because for the other three, we basically removed the chorus from each of them. But as far as the content goes for this map, there's a small inverse buildup, but I mean, when it gets to that chorus, it hits like a truck, I believe is what we said in the grand final showcase. I mean, there's just so much to deal with. There's a lot of small inverse and reverse shields, just a lot. So, I mean, any FCs would be crazy.
Yeah, Usada Pakora scored. Did play this map against they did play this map against Ida Connoisseur. They scored a 1.973 million points, so definitely hard to replicate, especially since almost both of them had near FCs. They did get their combo, or at least around the 4,000 combo mark, so of course definitely a bit hard and a challenge for Else and Grip Warrior to go through, as I do see that you know, this is Team Momentum's and Grip Warriors fourth straight map playing this one playing in this match. Ray's second time, I believe his third straight map. Else is coming in for her second, however.
Yeah, so that stamina does kind of come into play when it comes to Grip Warrior and Team Momentum. I know pretty much both of them will be mainstays, so I suspect that they will be playing pretty much every map. And, you know, if it does go to bracket reset, it really, I mean, becomes very hard for them.
Yeah, and all four players are still maintaining combo right now. But still, so far, each team are literally close within each other. Usada Pakora, all they really need is just a 200 and they'll strike back into the lead.
Yeah, we get into a small little build-up. We do see Ting drop. This is going to be the first drop, and that bar was slightly red before, but it is going to start growing now as we get into this little build-up section.
Yep, and a very odd break to happen for Team Momentum as well. I was expecting he would definitely hold up the combo until at least near the last quarter.
Yeah, but as we get into this next chorus, we are gonna see Ray also reset the combo, dropping down to a 99.56. So both players on the side of Usada Pakora not only drop, but their accuracies as well are below their opponents for Hologangsters.
You can see they're on their break right now. You can definitely see Usada Pakora, or at least from my analysis. Wait a minute, that's not a break, right? Wait, Ting did not just break on that part, right?
I think he did work. Wow.
Oh my gosh, what? Oh
wow.
My goodness. Just what's going on with Usada Pakora? Oh, okay. So it did come to our attention that Ting actually break just before the break. That's just very unfortunate.
Yeah, and we are gonna get into this last second here. Do you see that red bar just super large? That lead definitely gained throughout this match, especially with Ray and Team Momentum breaking 3 times in total between the two of them. Else is gonna find a 200 here, but as we get into this last part, both players on Hologangsters are gonna find themselves with possibly an FC.
Oh my gosh, for 1.984 million from both players. They definitely have outperformed Usada Pakora's first time playing this map, that's for sure. And my goodness, look at that ratio. Almost very identical between Elsa and Grip Warrior.
Yeah, I think the main thing was even if Ray and Team Momentum did FC, that great count definitely helped Emily and Grip to minimize any damage done in terms of accuracy or score drops. Usada Pakora picking SV1 just super quickly. They know what they want, and this is something that they have played before.
Yeah, they have definitely played this map twice, and they're going to make it a 3-0 sweep on this map alone, potentially going for a 4-0, because I do definitely see them picking this map again if they choose to go to a bracket reset if it gets there.
Yeah, and A Sharp actually subbing in for Grip, so bit of a break for him. Team Momentum not gonna be given that luxury as he will have to play in SV1. But this is the custom map by Artcat, so thank
Cat,
you to
yep.
him for
I
making
know
this
that
specifically for this.
I do know that Usada Pakora is a very strong team on this map in particular. In their match against Ina Connoisseur, I did remember Team Momentum wanted to go for the V1SS, but unfortunately, it was that Ina Connoisseur just unfortunately just couldn't even really perform on this map very well. So the map had actually ended not even on the halfway point.
Yeah, and honestly, I hope Hologangsters put on no fail because I do want to see this song to the end. That first verse definitely taking a bunch of hits on the stutters. So, I mean, Jigsaw and Team Momentum absolutely killing this, even on the
Oh
slow jam
boy.
parts. Yeah.
Yeah, you can just see. Yeah, you can just see the difference. There is a reason why they're going with SD1.
And I want to see how high Ting can get his score. We do see 200, so V1SS out of the window here. However, I mean, just an impressive showing by them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so, as someone who is very heavily involved with the process of making this, I mean, this map, definitely if you are looking to play it, super hard. You're gonna need, I mean, dozens of runs to get to where Ting Momentum is. It's just insane.
And as we are almost near the end of the map, I mean, that is the biggest margin we're ever going to see in this match.
Yeah, that blue bar is almost across the entire screen. I mean, it's reaching Ting's name.
Yeah, that is just yeah. Definitely a pretty big win right there for Usada Pakora as it's now 3-2 in favor of Hologangsters, but Hologangsters is now up to pick their next map. They still have their protect that they could choose to make it 4-2.
Yeah, that is not a bad pick at all, especially when you've been super consistent, and especially Grip Warrior as well. Incredible score by him on LN2 as we just saw before this SV pick.
Yep. I mean, we did see Usada Pakora going with their protect. So going to be interesting if they're gonna. So it's going to be interesting to see how they'll do. But I mean, when we're talking about Usada Pakora, they've been super strong on Rice, especially. But you know that Rice 6 lost against Hologangsters with the team of A Sharp and Grip Warrior. You know they definitely come here to play. That's for sure. They're not going to give up. They're not going to let them take a bracket reset easily. They're either gonna go all in on this one as well.
Yeah, no free picks here. No free rides at all. Hologangsters taking a bit of time to decide what they want to do next, but they are going to go for LN3. So every LN pick exhausted except for their Protect. This is going to be Minato Aqua's I Wanna, and this is the cut version.
Yeah, interesting. They're going with I Wanna. They did play this map in their first time up against Coco Fart, which they narrowly won against the team of Toxic Scent and Demi Fiend. If I remember, it was in that map that Coco Fart was holding a slight lead until the end, which Demi Fiend unfortunately had a devastating break, which gave Ray the opportunity to narrowly edge out Demi Fiend, because this was a 1v1 battles between Ray and Demi Fiend and Team Momentum and Toxic Scent. And even though Toxic Scent defeated Team Score by barely over 700 points, Ray did beat Demi Fiend by over 3,000 points, which was a huge difference maker. But 1.950 million is definitely an improvable score, especially coming from the caliber from Team Momentum. And interesting Jinxer now.
Yeah, I was gonna mention that we do see Ray not playing an LN map, which is kind of interesting. Jixu, maybe, I mean, some kind of hidden weapon, something up their sleeve, but I mean, this start is not too bad from both of them.
Yeah, definitely an interesting strategy to go with, especially when in Usada Pakora's match against Coco Fart, Jixu did only played SB1. But right now, as the matches have progressed, we do see a bit more in action of Jixu, but Team Momentum won't take the first break, however.
And a very sizable one at that too, dropping all the way down to 99.1. Els and Grip Warrior, solid as they've been throughout the LN picks, holding very, very strong at a 99.8 and 7 respectively. Just incredible FCs coming out from both of them. Jixu also, you don't really think of him as the LN player on the team. However, very, very close to Els. So definitely some work to be done for Usada Pakora, but it is not over yet.
Well, I mean, Jixu is close to Els, but you also have to remember Grip Warrior with a 99.82% accuracy. That's getting through Els is one thing, but to get through Grip Warrior, yeah, I mean, there is still a good chunk of map left, so Usada Pakora is definitely not out of the picture just yet.
Not at all. We get into this little guitar solo section here. Bit of a break as well. Grip Warrior still doing so well. Jixu catches up to Els in terms of accuracy, but as you said, Pork, I mean, the real challenge is Grip Warrior. Team Momentum, as soon as he finds his footing, and as soon as I mention him, is gonna drop. So that's gonna be a combo reset. That red bar is gonna grow.
Yeah, that is going to grow. That SB1 was definitely a hiccup for Hologangsters, but Grip Warrior and Celestia Els, even if they break now, I don't think it's not going to be enough for Usada Pakora to catch up on. But as we get near as we are at the end of the map, oh my goodness, Grip Warrior and Celestia Els both at the double FCs.
Oh yeah, and you see just how good Grip Warrior is. Such a versatile player to have on your team. To get a 993 on this map is just insane.
Yeah,
Jixu, I mean, has to, deserves a bit of praise too. Does get
yeah.
an FC and matches up fairly closely to Els. It's just those drops out of Team Momentum, very unfortunate, and definitely swung it over to Hologangsters.
Yep, and Jixu with did definitely have the highest score of Usada Pakora. Definitely beat Ray's high score as well. Well, unfortunately, it's just not enough. Wasn't enough to even beat their own score the first time they played this map. They're just 4,000 points short. But
Yeah.
now it's going to be Bon Appetit S by Hello Happy World and Shirakami Fubuki. And I am a huge Bang Dream weeb, so I am so
Oh, yeah.
happy to see this map being played as well.
And this is Rise 5. This is the shortest pick in the entirety of the pool, I believe, at 1:38. I could be wrong with SB2, but it's definitely the shortest Rice pick. This is pretty much a tech map, really bursty speed, and some speedy chord jacks as well in between. A lot of triples with those, so I mean, definitely a lot on your plate. However, I mean, with when you see this for on your lobby, and interestingly enough, we don't see Ting for this pick. Regardless, these 4 players should be able to absolutely kill it.
Yep, and this is a definitely interesting lineup we see for Usada Pakora, Jixu, and Ray coming in for Rice 5.
I mean, when you've been playing as long as Ting has, you definitely need a break at some point, right?
Yep. So here we go. This is the shortest map. I mean, as expected when they come to like Bang Dream maps, like most of this is pretty much an in-game map, which they're known for being very, very short to average at best. And as we see here, you know, especially with the being a 1:38 map, you cannot even afford to take a break, as we see from Grip Warrior. But
Yeah.
you know, we're already 1/3 of the map, so definitely going to keep an eye out on the score right here, because as soon as we get into the chorus, it's going to pick up.
Yep, and we do see, I mean, every player pretty comfortable with these dense patterns. However, yeah, that break from Grip is, and another one as well.
Yep,
Definitely
not going to help.
gonna hurt. No, not at all. I mean, a 99.72 with 2 breaks is very impressive.
Jixu with
however,
the break.
Jixu will trade back, yeah, and A Sharp trading that one back.
No, it's sharp.
Ray top scoring the lobby, 99.82 FC, bar any commentator's curses.
Yep. That's just going to be it.
Yep. And Ray with the only FC in the lobby, a very, very impressive 994. Wow,
Oh
almost
my
a V1
gosh, look at
SS,
A
and
sharp and
yeah,
Grip
look at A
Warrior.
Sharp.
Oh my god.
That MA is immaculate from both of them.
It's really unfortunate. It makes you wonder what happens with if they hadn't break, because they definitely could have definitely take this map as well. It just shows how strong Hologangsters is, but I mean, the battle of consistency has gone both ways, however. And they're gonna go with their LN pick, their protect pick, Ghost. Now, you saw that this is perhaps one of the picks that I do think that it's a right protect to choose against Usada Pakora. And especially interestingly for Usada Pakora, they've been 0-3 in this match. It's really just going to come down to the LNs for this match. So if there's a time that they have to get a break, if they need to take a point, it's this one.
It is definitely this one, because like you said, this is the only LN pick left. So after this is exhausted, if Hologangsters win this one, they're gonna have to find another point somewhere on the board. You do still have Sanji Junihun, which is the LN Hybrid, however, I mean, anything goes when it comes down to it with these two teams battling it out.
Yep, and that's going to be interesting to see how will this match go. Jigsaw coming in for Ray again. Again, a very, very interesting strategy that you set up Pakora going up by maintaining. No, Jigsaw has been pretty good with how he has performed today. I mean, aside from that Rice 5 that just happened, but it was still a very good score, and it's definitely going to be interesting to see how well Jigsaw will do in this map.
Yeah, and to be fair, Jigsaw did do super well on LN3.
LN3, yeah.
Very, very good. It makes sense to keep him in. And I mean, as you see here, all four players pretty much at the same accuracy.
Yeah. And as we are getting near the first big part, here we go. I think I just see a 200 being thrown from Jigsaw. I could be wrong, however.
Yeah, that's gonna help the lead for Hologangsters a little bit. Both players beating out their counterparts currently, with team momentum dropping down to 99.6. A string of a couple 200s. Seems like they're a bit late, possibly on the releases. However, everyone actually taking quite a big hit in this chorus. Everyone dropping down pretty much 0.1% respectively.
Oh my goodness! Now this is where it gets even more crazy right here. I'm just impressed with. Oh my goodness! Team momentum will find a break and another one.
Yeah, and even Els is not safe. No one is. Everyone holding an FC except for Ting. But look at those accuracies. They just drop like a rock. I mean, those chills are insanely hard to deal with, so I don't blame them. But as it stands, Ting momentum is going to be the first one to break, and only one at this point. So that lead is slowly growing on the side of Hologangsters, and there's only a third of the map left.
Yup, and we are now with those quads. All four players managed to hit those magnificently good. And now we get into the final big part right here. Oh my goodness, how are these players performing? Those patterns look disgusting. Els won't find a break, but all else just gotta do is just hold on against team momentum. As now
Gripper is gonna find a break too. That's a team reset.
Oh my goodness, this really might come down to the wire.
We're gonna need to see a couple more because that red bar is still holding strong in this final section. However, 200 out of Els isn't gonna be enough for Usada Pakora, and as we get into these last 4 LNs, they are gonna take this pick.
Oh my goodness, that was really close call for Hologangsters. And now before you know it, they are at championship point right here. They just need one more point to become champions. And Usada Pakora just one more point away from unfortunately being finished in second place, which is especially now that they definitely were the benefactor of not having to play against Taco Bell. They a lot is being expected for them to be able to take this bracket reset against Hologangsters.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, Usada Pakora on their last legs here, it is their pick. However, it might be their last one. I mean, if Hologangsters manage to snag Rice 4, it is gonna be the tournament.
Oh, they're going with Rice 4 error Tokoyami Toa. This is a Ray map. So definitely And this is definitely going to give Usada Pakora an advantage.
Yeah, Mapper's advantage here with Ray being the mapper. This is the cut version. We did take a little bit out of it, slice the chunk out, but I mean, as it stands, it's a very, very dense and speedy map. So I mean, and this is also the stamina map as well, with awkward snappings, I believe.
Alrighty. Alrighty, we are gonna go as we are trying to get things set up. Our referee will put in the MP start 10. So Ray and Jigsaw in for Usada Pakora, Hologangsters, A Sharp, and Grip Warrior, the race-oriented team. Interestingly, the hybrids have not been touched.
Yeah, not at all. I mean, I think it was pretty common just throughout the finals and grand finals pools for those two not to be really picked first. Definitely like Rice and Ellen being straight favored compared to hybrid, but I mean, yeah, now that you mention it, both hybrids being kind of ignored.
No, both of the hybrids have not been touched at all. So, and especially if it is 5-4, I think Usada Pakora is definitely gonna go with the Rice, probably with Rice too, because no, none of the hybrid maps have been chosen in the finals and grand final, and now this match as well.
Yeah, as we get into this first section, or this speedy section here, look at Grip Warrior and Ray at that. Again, Mapper's advantage coming into play here, 99.91. Super used to this map. Grip Warrior tagging a little bit behind. With
Oh,
A-Sharp
Ray won!
Oh, that's such a huge break. Oh my.
Oh my goodness! Hologangsters with the lead, but it's not over yet. This is race forward one. This really caters to Usada's Pakora's big strengths right here, but it really depends on the finish right here as well. It's not how you start, but it's all about how you finish as well.
Definitely, there is still one more section for A-Sharp and Grip Warrior to contend with, so I mean, anything can happen. We could see even a team reset out of them. So it is not over yet for Usada Pakora as we get into this last section here. Jigsaw and Ray doing their best to try to catch up to A-Sharp and Grip Warrior. Jigsaw's gonna find a drop.
Oh man, that is just going to be the nail in the coffin.
But A-Sharp making it slightly competitive.
Oh, but I don't know if it will be enough, however. Wait a minute. Oh no! A-Sharp with the break, but Jigsaw will take another trade. But as it stands, that is going to be it. It was a valiant effort from both teams, a valiant effort from Usada Pakora. But as it stands, your winners for BSM Holomania will be the number 1 seed Hologangsters, the team of A-Sharp, Grip Warrior, and Silaleska Els. Amazing performance for them, and also amazing performance for Usada Pakora.
Yeah, I mean, Usada Pakora gonna take home 2nd place. Jigsaw, Ray, and Team Momentum putting up a extremely good fight against Hologangsters. And of course, our 3rd place friends Taco Bell, Chiwi, Boji, and Forken. So thank you to all of them for playing.
Yeah, that's just going to be it. That's just going to be it. As I think we are going into Tiebreaker Showcase.
Yep, we are gonna showcase the Tiebreaker. This is a custom map by How to Play Ellen and Arcat. So super huge shout out to them and a big thank you for making this on a dime. Honestly, this was very fun and super good map, and I love that background as well.
Yo, what's up?
Oh, Ting's gonna join us.
That is definitely.
Yeah, GG's.
Yeah, honestly, GG's Tings. Thank you so much for playing.
To be honest, my team was only going for top 3. That's it.
Hey, and I mean, you succeeded.
Yeah, we're pretty happy with that, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, when
you know, they can take the win. You know, they're such a strong team.
yeah, definitely.
Yep, and I mean, it was definitely close, however, but it was really their element game. Being able to 4-0 against your team, that was really such a big reason why Hologangsters was able to take this win. It was those rice picks, however, that I just feel like it could have went either way, however, but it was Rice 6 and Rice 4. Hologangsters was just able to narrowly take the advantage of.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so we are gonna get into...
just say, yeah, GG's.
Yeah,
see you, man.
GG's and thank you for playing, Ting.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Alrighty. Alrighty, with that, I mean, we are going into a tiebreaker showcase, but this is also, say, like, a victory lap for everyone who have worked super hard to make this tournament a reality. So, as we get into the epic start, Nida, do you have any, aside from just, let's just not be commentators for just 1 minute, do you have any personal thoughts on this tournament as a whole?
I just so many. Just starting out, I mean, even with the inception of BSM and the funny tournament idea that we had to make a Holomania themed tournament, it was just crazy to think about. I mean, we kind of laughed about it months before it happened, but when it finally did, and the amount of support that we got from everyone, and just all of the help staffing, meeting a bunch of new people, and I mean, the turnout as well, close to 90 teams, so over 250 players, making us one of the biggest Mania tournaments this year. It's just insane to think about. So, I mean, I just want to thank everyone for that, but I think I'll save the thank yous for after this. Big long shoot for that.
Yep. Personally, this was definitely a very interesting tournament for me. Happened around the time when a lot of Mania tournaments just happened. I mentioned it again. Broken Matrix, Violent Mania Tournament, Murasaki no Taiketsu, Mania Collegiate League. There was also the Philippines Nationals Mania. There was also the Usada Malaysian Tournament 2, and there's also the Tournament 4.5, as well as the Usada Chinese Nationals 2022 that is in their finals week as of right now. But aside from that, this is one just like with Violent Mania Tournament and Philippines Nationals Mania and Mania Collegiate League. This is definitely one of the tournaments that I definitely had a lot of fun being able to commentate on. And so I'm just, in a way, I'm happy that this tournament is actually over. But I'm actually pretty sad that a lot of these tournaments are going to end because, well, it's like, this is like the last Mania tournament that, me and you are going to be commentating for now. Since we are both, and we were both unfortunately rejected from the Mania World Cup that is currently ongoing right now with Chile versus Spain that's going on right now. But, this is definitely, regardless of it, I'm just super happy with how everything has gone. And even though we are not able to commentate on like the big stage right now, even though it's not us and maybe, not like some other people you expected here to commentate, I'm just very, very thankful for everything I have learned, for, throughout this whole time that I've started staffing, because in just about 2 months will be my 1 year anniversary since I started staffing. And even though this year I may not have accomplished a lot of my goals, I am definitely reaching for new goals that I am actually really am happy to announce. Like, I'll be doing like a lot bigger things for the tournament scene, not just in Mania but also for standard as well.
Yeah, and also just for BSM in general, we do have a couple of things cooking. I'm not gonna let on with too much on the info with that, but I mean, this is not the last you'll see of us by any means. You're gonna see a lot more content coming out from the side of us. So, I mean, as we wrap up this tiebreaker, Pork, I'll let you take it with the thank yous first.
Alrighty. So first off, I just want to say thank you to Hologangsters, Usada, Pakora, for giving for providing us such a very entertaining match. Thank you to Taco Bell for being able to take third place. Um, it's unfortunate that again what happened with Taco Bell, but it's totally understandable. Um, but yeah, that's the first part. Secondly, I want to say thank you to our hardworking staff players. We have staff from all around the world that caters to basically almost at any time, so to ensure that matches like these would be taken care of. Especially shout out to say like players that are not from North America who helped staff for this tournament. So especially those from the Philippines and like other. That's like the only country I can think of because we have so many Filipinos that help staff for this tournament. Thank you to Rhymes with Bash, and thank you to Sun Apple for being the ones who are in charge on this tournament. They are definitely those two guys were definitely the ones who really were behind the scenes, the head guys who were able to take care of this tournament as a whole to ensure that everything just goes smoothly, and just to make sure that this tournament would go very well from start to finish. Thank you to everyone. Thank you to people who I've been fortunate to commentate with, and I could have been thankful to commentate with a really, really great commentator that I try to model my style of commentary after. So thank you to you, Dynascape. Thank you to Zeus for refing this match. Thank you to Rise with Match for refing as well as hosting. Thank you to Sun Apple as well for also co-hosting. And yeah, this is definitely not the last time you will see a BSM. I mean, for most of us, we all have big plans that are coming up. Speaking of which, I would like to put in my own big plan right here. I am very happy to announce that I will be hosting my second tournament, and it's actually not Usada. And if you want to know what is the idea of it, please check out tomorrow for a special showcase of one of the most prestigious OSU tournaments, Corsair's Open. It's definitely going to be a huge honor for me to commentate on this match, so hopefully you guys will be able to see me if you guys do enjoy my commentary. But yeah, I mean, just want to say thank you to everyone. Thank you to everyone. I don't know how many times I'm going to say thank you, so Dinah, you can do the conclusion.
Yeah, I mean, before everything, I want to get through my thank yous really quickly as well. Thank you to my fellow founders, Sun Apple and Mash, for hosting this tournament. Thank you to all of the referees and commentators, everyone that helped with the tournament, and especially the cheaters as well. We had Epsilon step in, but also Slide to start with, as well as Too Fast For You, and as well as Normal Fire for the graphics. And also thank you to everyone who that participated. Such a huge turnout again, so thank you everyone. And that's gonna do it for me, as well as Pork, I believe. So just wrap things up. Congratulations to Hologangsters, Usada, Pakora, and Taco Bell for first, second, third place. And that'll be it for BSM for now. We will see you guys in the next one.